just kind of wanted to come on here quickly and kind of like talk about something. I am recording on my phone and not in my bathroom because a couple people mentioned, like with my first video, the welcome to my channel video, that the fan noise in my bathroom was kind of like loud. And my light and fan are connected, so I can't like turn one switch on and one off. So I am recording this on my phone at my desk and featuring my coffee. But I just kind of wanted to record a little video, not the one that I intentionally wanted to record next, but like I said, this is kind of recording everything from how I feel to think and everything else, and then random stuff. But and I just got done like crying and having like this like breakdown earlier. It's been about like 30 minutes or so, and I was like, okay, should I record? Should I talk about this? Would people even want to hear about it? And obviously I decided to record, so here I am. I do have a notebook right here, just kind of like to follow along with, like, I don't want to be all over the place, but at the same time, like, that's kind of me. That's how I talk. I'm all over the place. So I'll try to stick with my main points as best as I can and not try to ramble on as much as I often do. But if I do, and you stick around and watch the whole video, I really do appreciate it. I just wanted to kind of talk about how I feel about something that I kind of just recently, like, not realized, but just thought about a lot, which led me to this like crying mental breakdown thing. But I recently left a job at Spencer's, and it was seasonal, so I didn't really like leave. I was let go, but not like a let go as in fired. It was just a seasonal job, and it ended. And I loved it. I loved the people. I felt like part of a family. You know, I could be as weird as I normally am and not be judged, because most of those people were weirder than me, and which is not an insult. Like, I loved them. And but I also quit my job. I was working at a Marriott hotel at the front desk, and it was overnight from 11:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. And those hours are hard anyway, and the job itself isn't hard. You just deal with a lot of different stuff than you would in like a retail or food service position. I wouldn't be able to do those jobs again, like food service or retail. But I quit because of the environment, essentially, and the people like were okay. Like, my employers and like coworkers were okay. I did have some issues with the employer, because initially I took time off. I took about a week off, and I did tell them like it was for medical issues, which wasn't necessarily a lie. It was just to kind of like focus on myself. I do believe like mental health is a big thing. I wish like jobs would have like a certain amount of time that they give you off for like mental health, like days essentially, because unless you have like a mental disorder or illness, you're not really gonna know just how bad it can get. And you know, I got the time approved off, and then when I went to come back, like, I was just done. The night I was supposed to go back, I just didn't come in, and I did not handle it the best way, or most professional way. I turned my phone off and just didn't go in at all. I didn't answer their phone calls when I was supposed to come in and everything else. And I've never done anything like that. But I was just over it. There's a lot of like little details from like past people and stuff that like I'm not including in it just because it's stuff that isn't really my business, but it was shared to me. But it didn't give me the best impression of this company. And I have only been here since the beginning of, or middle kind of October. Or not October. I want to say I literally started the last week of October, maybe the first week of November. And I literally quit the first week of January. I was only there. This is the shortest I've ever been anywhere. And it's kind of humiliating to admit that. But not just humiliating because of that, it's humiliating because I've quit every job I have ever worked besides my 2 seasonal jobs since I first started working in 2010. And that's why it's embarrassing or humiliating, because people hear that and they're like, okay, this girl doesn't have any work ethic. When that's not the case. Like, when I'm at work, I bust my ass and I do what I gotta do. I actually enjoy working. I love working, depending on the job. But I love being independent and being able to take care of myself, pay my bills, and not have to rely on anyone else. But when I thought about it this morning, the reason that like it led up to like a mental breakdown and me crying is because in 2018, around June, I want to say, I get indigestion when my anxiety starts acting up. And drinking coffee is probably not the best thing to drink, but I'm getting anxious like talking about it. I got evicted from my first apartment that I ever lived in. And it was the first time I was out like on my own. And I don't know why I quoted that, because it was on my own. I wasn't living with anyone, and no one was taking care of me, and now it's paying my bills. Like I know one month I had to borrow from one person like to help with rent. And it was embarrassing, and I still have yet to pay him back, but working on it. But good friends, good friends. But anyway, I had quit my job then because I was working at a different Marriott company, and it wasn't the job itself. Something happened. I was in a situation that was just really bad, and I was very uncomfortable walking at 11:30 at night to my job because I don't have a car. And even though it was right next door, like it was literally right next door, because like my apartment was right here and the hotel is right across the road, I just was still uncomfortable walking in the dark, and just because of this thing that happened. And I'll talk about that in another video. But I ended up quitting there, and I like lied to them, didn't really give them a reason, just kind of was like, I quit. Didn't give it 2 weeks notice. And then a week later, like I went back and made amends and tried to make things right, not to go back to Courtyard, just to kind of explain like why I did, because I didn't want them to have this like perception of me in their minds of who I was based on that. And I worked there for about like, I want to say maybe like 4.5 months. And then it's so embarrassing because I haven't stayed consistently at a job in a while. But anyway, like the one that I recently just quit, I went back yesterday because I spoke with my old manager, and he was like, okay, we'll come in Monday and we'll talk about, getting your job back. Well, hold on. I go in, my friend came and picked me up. Sorry. My friend came and picked me up, and we go all the way over here, right? I get there, and I tell the front desk person, I was like, hey, is so-and-so in? I need to talk to him about, some stuff. And he was in like a meeting, doing some paperwork, whatever. He did not even have the spine to come out and tell me this himself. He got someone from the golf court position. I'm here in Hattiesburg. He got someone at a different position, not even the manager, at the Gulfport position to come out and talk to me and tell me that they had already replaced me. And they didn't really have a spot open to put me back in. And I was fine with it. I didn't want the job back, really, honestly. That's the whole reason I quit. Like, but why waste my time? I don't have a car. I usually have to use Uber, or I ask my friend to bring me, who I owe probably way too much money in gas anyway. And here I am yet again asking him to bring me somewhere else, and I know he doesn't mind, but it's the whole concept of you waste my time. I get dressed, put on makeup, do what I gotta do, go apply for some other hotel jobs, and then come over there just on the off chance, because the way he made it sound was like, yeah, your job's just waiting on you kind of thing. Why? What was the point of that? Where you could officially tell me that you replaced me? And I would literally, I haven't got my last check from there, and they get their checks in this Friday, and I swear if I don't have my check in, and that was random, but anyway, my whole point, I wanted to sit down and talk about how I feel and everything about the fact that I quit all these jobs, and it's just so hard for me to get up, and I said in my first video, other people that have depression or just any kind of mental disorder, the main thing that is impaired is your daily functioning. Getting up is part of your daily routine, and when you can't hardly get up out of your bed to go shower, how are you supposed to stay on this routine of 6-7 nights a week is what I was working, and going from 11:30 to 7:30 at this job, and you're sitting here telling yourself, I'm good enough, I can do this, I know what I'm doing, I'm great at my job. But there's this paranoia and anxiety in the back of my head telling me always in my entire life that I'm not enough. I'm not enough at my job. I'm not enough in my relationship. I'm not enough as a person. And literally, I'm not sure if that's how other people feel or not, but that's how I feel. I don't feel enough at the time. And then I have these little pep talks with myself that I am, because I know I am. And when I say that it's this battle in my head, or battle between my head and heart, it's essentially, it's between my feelings and logic, how I feel and what I know. I know I'm enough. I know there's people that like me. I know as relationships, friends, whatever, my family doesn't hate me, and I know this, but it makes it hard for me to stay anywhere, and I push people away, and I have my entire life, and I think that's why I quit all my jobs, because it's I start to get good and great at these jobs, and then it's these opportunities to move up in these companies, and then it's I get scared and I push them away, so I quit what I'm doing before it can get harder, before I don't know why, maybe that's just kind of my theory, because I do that with my family, growing up, my parents and me, we never really they did what they could, and it's not not bashing them or anything, and they know that. We've each individually talked about all this, they've both sat there and said the things they could have done differently, and they would have, they did the best that they could with what they had. We're human and we make mistakes, and when I was younger and growing up, you don't know these things, you're a kid, and you don't really know how hard someone's trying, especially someone that has their own demons from their own past and their own like mental problems, their own depression, anxiety, and whatever, and just daily life that they're dealing with. And growing up and becoming an kind of an adult, but and seeing like, you know, my parents had us when they were 24, I believe it was. And I can't imagine right now having a kid in my life. Like, I mean, one day, yeah, but I really give props to my parents. But I literally like push everyone away, and it's that's why I feel like I quit all my jobs, and like I do that with my relationship too. Um, I or any relationship that I've been in, and I notice like I still do it here and there. Like if something's wrong, like I'll sit there and say nothing, and I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's just what women do," but it's not. It is not. um, it is what I do, but I will literally let something eat me up so bad inside, even if it's my own feelings, because I don't think anyone's gonna understand it. And they can say that they do, but no one's gonna feel exactly how you feel. No one's gonna go through exactly what you go through. But I'm working on it. And I just kind of wanted to come on here and really just like kind of just sit around basically and talk about all that. About like this little mental breakdown that I had about quitting my job and thinking I'm gonna fall on my ass and be evicted again. And that's essentially what it was. But it like literally led to me like, oh my God, what if this happens? What if this? What if? And that's one of my biggest like things with my depression. I know like anxiety is a common symptom of depression and everything, but like that's how mine is. And that's what like the main video that I was, or not main, but the next video that I was gonna do, it was gonna talk about like, you know, common symptoms of depression, because of course I know most of them anyway, but studying psychology, I definitely know them. Like I know the common symptoms of depression, anxiety, and just, you know, other mental disorders. And I'm just saying those two because those are the ones that I'm affected by. There are way more out there that other people deal with that I don't understand and will never understand. But I can be more empathetic towards them because of my own experiences. But I just wanted to kind of come on and talk about that. If you've stuck around this long of my rambling, I really do appreciate it. And just, I'll post the next video. Hopefully it'll be up like later on this week. I'm gonna post this one as soon as I get done. And I do have a notebook here, sorry. But the next video will be like, you know, those common symptoms and like mine and how it affects me and like more in depth and stuff about that. But thanks for watching as always.